YouTube, what's going on? Itsjustmetye here, bringing you another video. Man, oh man, there is a hot debate on Warzone Casual. And with Season 4 just around the corner, they are bringing in Resurgence Casual. That's right, 44 players, bots and real players, and we have a discussion. We're talking about, is casual good for Warzone, and is it saving it? So if you would, make sure you stay to the end of the video. It was a crazy ending. Also, make sure if you're not subbed, hit that sub button, ring the bell so when you know I go live and post. Plus, leave a comment, share with a friend. I love y'all so much. Thank you for all y'all do. See you next time. All right, guys, we're solo spectating Warzone Casual, and today we're going to talk about, is Warzone Casual saving Warzone? We're going to do a deep dive into what I think the pros and cons is in Warzone Casual, plus talk about the Resurgence Casual that is coming out in Season 4. My initial thoughts when I heard about Warzone Casual, I was like, what is this? Like, what are we, you know, I knew kind of what it was, but I didn't know, you know, how it would be perceived, you know what I'm saying? So what it is for those that have not played the casual mode, it is 25 real players, 25 real players, and then the rest are bots. Now you kind of can tell what the bots are, who the bots aren't. Now there is some players out there that are level 1 and, you know, brand new players to the game, which I think that is great for the game. Now, what I don't like about this is I think here is just like what I think this game. Well, we'll save that for later. But let's just talk about the beginnings of this. When I first played it, I was like, wow, I could see why a casual can really like this. It's because you already know. In regular BR, there's so many sweaty players. You're jumping into there, you know, you're seeing the YY demons. You're just out there having to be sweaty a lot of the times. In this game mode, you really don't have to be sweaty as much. You can kind of go at your own pace. Now, you can do your own little thing. Like this guy right here, he's just, you know, just spinning around, having a grand old time. And for people that don't play the game as much, this is a great mode for you. For the guys that, you know, work a 9 to 5 and then come home, have to feed the kids, and then the boys are like, hey, let's get on for a couple hours. For those guys and gals, for those people that can't play as much, this is a perfect mode because you don't have to sweat your butt off. You don't have to, you know, face the, you know, swags, the biffles, and, you know, I think that is a great thing. Now, mind you, that a lot of times they're not in your lobbies, but for a lower skill player, for a player that doesn't play as much, this is a perfect mode to learn the map, learn the fundamentals, learn about rotations, learn what to do in the end game, what not to do in end game, and, you know, just learn the game. Now, you have those, you know, well, I don't think BR Casual should be in the game. I think that, you know, they should just learn the hard way. They should learn how we did it. Man, guess what? They're not. So if you don't like this mode, don't worry about this mode. Play your regular BR or your Resurgence and just chill. If these dudes are having fun, doing contracts, laughing with the dude, laughing with your boys, you know, laughing with the crew, so be it. It is what it is. Now, I also think that you're going to have those higher KD players that are coming in here and destroying the fun, you know, that is just out here just dropping 30, 40, 50 kills, killing all the bots and just running through the lobby. Now, what I think should happen, this is just my opinion, with stuff like that, I think in a way what should happen is each casual mode, this mode right here, each lobby should be dictated on your KD. So if you have a high KD, I think the bot should increasingly get harder. Sort of like DMC was when you dropped in the stronghold and stuff like that, and those bots had aimbot and they were just destroying everybody, and it was just crazy. I think that's the bots that should be in the casual mode. Now, if you have a lower KD, I don't think the bots should be as hard, but they should be definitely at least challenging so you can simulate what a real BR feel will be. Now, you can kind of tell the bots from the real players. If it is like a lower skill player, you can kind of tail, they'll throw a grenade or something to lay down, or they'll shoot 15 times in the air and spin in a circle. But a lot of times you're going to run into more bots than players. A lot of in games you're going to run into the real players, and that's kind of where you gotta, in a way, be a little bit more sweaty, than shooting at the bots. But for players that are low-tier players that really don't, have the BR experience, I think this is a phenomenal way to teach them the game. And in my opinion, I think this is a great teaching tool for players, because a lot of players don't get at that end game or get in a gunfight and get really, really nervous. This is a great way to warm up. This is a great way to hone in your skills for those type of engagements. Now, am I saying that these bots are the same thing as these kids that are just, cracked out of their mind and all of that? No, but I really believe if in this game right here, positioning is everything. Positioning is so important in this game, and if you learn that, you're going to win a lot more of your gunfights than just, slide, cancel, slide this, do this, omni movement, whatever. You're going to win a lot more games and a lot more fights with positioning. And I think this mode really, really will teach you how to rotate, where to rotate, what to do in situationals. How, in my opinion, if you're trying to get better, this is a good mode to start out with. And if you're not with the boys or whatnot, I really believe you should solo queue in this and just go. Just learn to rotate. Learn how to take on 4 players. And even if they're bots, learn how to position. Now, every game, you should take a different topic. So let's say you hop into this mode right now. I want to learn how to rotate. When is the good time to rotate? When is it the bad time to rotate? Where should I rotate? Plan ahead. Plan ahead to your next spots. So as right now, I see the storm is moving. So if I want to go this way, I want to go in just a little bit. So I want to be in about right in this area right here, probably. I would go probably this area right here, because you're going to have all these players that are be funneling in right here. Boom, boom. You could even hold them, even the TV station. One of these rotations. Now they're doing recons. You're going to see where the center circle, the end circle is. It's going to be a rough one, but you know where to rotate. Now, don't rotate late. Rotate with, some time on, the circle. Make sure you're not rotating in late, because you're going to have those players that's already there to pick you off when you're telling the storm. So those are some things that I really think that really, really help Warzone and BR Casual. I really believe this is a great mode, and I'm very, very shocked that this mode is actually doing really, really well. I really didn't think that this mode would do very well. I didn't see it. When I heard bots and all of that, I'm like, man, this don't sound good. And also, I just didn't believe that this mode would take off like it did, to the point where now in Season 4, we are getting Resurgence Casuals. And I'm very anxious to see how that is going to work out. How is Resurgence Casuals going to play? And I think it's going to play the same way. It's going to be 44 players. They didn't say how many's real, how many's bots, but are the bots going to be Resurgence? That's going to be really... I'm very intrigued to see how they're going to do. Like right here. You see... Awareness. You see how that dude was shooting? That dude was... The bot was already there, and the dude didn't even look up to see him. Those are small little things. Centering. You got to work on the centering. Those are things, and I'm just seeing that, so I'm changing the subject real quick. Those are the things that this game can help. Because let's be honest, if that was any other player, this player would be in the gulag. But hopefully they learn from that. Okay, now I got to work on my centering. I got to be aware of all my surroundings. I got to always look at the mini map. Where's the red dots? Where are we going? Those are the things that you can work on BR Casual that you can't in regular BR, because BR is sweaty. But back to the Resurgence aspect of 44 players, I'm very anxious to see how many is going to be bots, how many is going to be real players, and how is this really going to play out. in my guess, this is just a guess, I don't think it's going to play as well, maybe, to VR casual, because the games are going to be so fast. Now, I could be totally wrong. And that thing just takes off because there is a player base for, yep, perfect. Way to look. Come on, hit your shots. There is a huge player base that plays nothing but Resurgence. Like, we know that. It's its own thing. I mean, if you look at it, they're bringing in ranked Resurgence for a reason. And that's another thing that's going to be really interesting to see how the player base is split between BR ranked and Resurgence ranked. But on the casual front here is some cons, in my opinion. I think that this game casual needs to be tweaked just a little bit, and they're still learning. They're still learning about the mode. They're still, implementing the new things in the mode. I for real think that they need to make the bots a little bit harder for those high skilled players. If you have a certain KD or whatever, I think the bots need to be up. Now, I don't know how they would do that. I am not a tech guy. I couldn't tell you how that would be, but in my opinion, I really believe that if you are going to play the game and you have a high KD, now high KD doesn't always mean a better player, because I've said this over and over. Somebody can sit in a house and just pick people apart, not have one real engagement, snipe from 500 meters, get 5 kills, get 1 death, and have a positive KD. They can do that over and over and over. But when it comes to a one-on-one fight, they just crap themselves and can't win a one-on-one. So KD really doesn't mean too much, but in my opinion, I believe there should be a cutoff where if you're this high, you should have to have higher and more, intelligent bots. If you're below a certain average, because popular belief is 1 is an average KD, and that is not the case. As of right now, the normal KD is around 0.75 to 0.8. That is the normal KD. And then if you're 1, 2, 3, 4, the 3s and the 4s up there are, your 1%. Well, I would say 3, 4, anything above a 3, that's kind of your, 1, maybe 2% player base. A lot of player base is at between 0.7 and 0.8. That is the normal KD. I'm going to roughly say 0.8, but those players should get, the normal bots that we're seeing right now. Like these, look, that's a bot. You see how the bots just... But did you see the one thing that we did see with this person is they did have better centering. They kept their centering. They know where it's coming. Look, they learned. Now, I don't know about that, but they're learning. You know what I'm saying? They're learning how to push. A regular player would probably have wiped that person, but they're learning how to push. Now, if you take that first gunfight, running down, head down, didn't get their weapon up. Now they've learned, all right, I gotta have my weapon. I gotta be ready. I gotta be ready for that fight right there that they knew was there. A normal person would probably smoke them and went in there and got them, but they're learning that. And that's the big thing that you can take away from this game mode is learning. Even the best players in the world, the Biffles, the Evan, the Super Evs, the, Swags, whoever, they're constantly learning new mechanics, new techniques, and you'll never perfect this game. As amazing as Biffle is, as amazing as all of your top favorite streamers are, they're not perfect. They make mistakes. They're learning. And as a person that might not be on that skill level, you can learn, you can understand the mechanics of this game. And this mode right here is a perfect, way of learning without having to sweat, without having to, constantly always look over your back. What's this? What's that? This game mode really, really helps. And it's going to be around for a while, and we're seeing that. with them adding Resurgence tells me that the player base for this style of game is so big that they can expand to Resurgence. Because if the player base wasn't this big, they wouldn't expand it. They would have kept it right here and everything would have been cool. But the player base is so big that they're doing it. Now, I even believe that they're going to do, you know, casual multiplayer. Now, I don't know what that's going to entail. I don't know if it's going to be a certain mode. I don't know, but I really believe in time we're going to see a casual multiplayer. And that's just the testament of how good and how positive the feedback is for this style of game. As we see right here, they know the end circle is here. If I'm them, I'm trying to get into maybe this area right here. How much money do we have? All right, we got 12. So if you even want to go, you know, up here, you can go even up on top of the hill. But the only issue is you going across here, because you're gonna have people that's in this area right here that is like up top of these hills that are holding over there. But in my estimate, you're gonna have VR casual, Resurgence casual, and multiplayer casual. I'm not saying that this is saving Warzone or this is hurting Warzone, but I am saying this is a positive step forward with Warzone. Perfect. Just hit your shots, you know, keep that good centering. Only thing, you know, especially aiming down sight, walking, if that was a good player, he would have, you know, slid in and, you know, oh Lord, somebody's getting sniped over there. UAV. There we go. And that's the thing. Also is learning how contracts are very, very important. Learning how to keep money and keep, you know, pop the UAVs. Get the, you know, just getting the things that you need, especially right now. Do you have a gas mask? Do you have a self-revive? Do you have a UAV? Do you have a cluster? Do you have a precision? Whatever you need, you got to keep that going. That way you are prepared for end game. Now, I think they should. Yep. You see them pinging? They know their players are right here. That's another thing. Learn the ping. Oh, here we go. I like it. I like it. You know why? Because look at this. Look at this. Advanced UAV. So they know where the players are. They know where the players are. Now, if I'm them, I'm trying to get probably maybe up here a little bit. Now you're gonna have this. Oh, you're gonna have 4 players right here.
Changing mags.
You know you're gonna have them there. No, you got a whole row right there. If I'm them, I'm going for that. Team shoot. All right, where we going now? Where we going? Rotate. You know you. Yep. Did you ping over there? Yep. You know they're over there. Blast. Right there. Ah. Come on, you gotta have discipline. That was a good shot, you know, but you're learning. That's not a really good shot. Where's? Are they sniping from the? Do it. Oh, you got. There's. Oh, is that from the? Yep, that's from Stadium. Now you gotta learn how to deal with those because you're gonna see that in regular BR. Somebody flying in to your left. Don't hide in the building. This is something that nope, you're not gonna hit that with the growl from right there. Just you're right. And now they're going to get held by the gas and those players up there. They're going to get held by that. Now, I don't know why we are shooting. There you go. But the growl isn't really going to hit that, in my opinion. Is he going to? There you go. Come on. Hit it. You hear him behind you. In front of you. It's not a smart play.
You're losing ground. Moving.
Somebody's below him too. But back to the the casual talk. I really believe in my heart of hearts that this game will be around for a while. And it's bringing a whole other player base to the game as well. The ones that are scared to hop into BRs, the ones that are scared to hop into Resurgence. Now, I know I'm going to get a backlash. Well, if they scared, they shouldn't play the game, man. They should do this. They should be a 15 KD player that does everything like I do. Yeah, whatever. These guys are having a time of their life, having a great time. And that's why this game mode is expanding. We're seeing Resurgence. We're going to see multiplayer. And that's why this game is thriving in this type of mode, because players are very, very comfortable of playing this. Now, I do like it. I really like how they are catering kind of to this type of mode, because let's be all the way honest. This type of win isn't as exciting as a regular BR win, but when they get ready and they get ready to play and they get that first BR win or whatnot, it's going to be amazing. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's going to be amazing for them. They're going to be so excited. And this is, this is a lot better than boot camp was, because boot camp was just like a half a circle. You had to do what you do. But this game mode, you're getting to actually get the contracts. You're getting the feel of the real game, which I really like.
Reinforcing arms.
All right, let's see if this team actually can pull out the win. Oh! Okay, where we at? You saw him right there. He's on the... Now. That's a rough one right there. Probably would have lost in the regular game. They're still on. Hey, see now. Here's how you handle this. They're going to have to jump. So all you have to do is wait. They're going to have to jump. Either they're going to jump. They can't jump back here. They're right here. They're either going to jump this way or we're going to jump this way. One of the two. Get behind trees. Get your cover. Get your cover. Good pings. They're working as a team. That's the big thing. They're working as a team. All right. They're not jumping now. They could have. Yep, they're still up there. You see the snipe. They're still up there. A waste. That's a waste. In my opinion, that's a waste of equipment. I wouldn't have done that. All right, you got to make sure you remember that there's a guy to the left, right there, right in front of you. See that? Yeah. See, that's where you got. Come on, hit your shots. Hit your shots. Throw it. Oh, too late. Should have thrown it first. All right, you got a sniper to your left. Right there, right in front of you. Good. Now you got focus straight to your left. Focus straight to your left. Right there. Nice. One more. Yep. Get behind there. Look. Slide on over. You see him right there. Hit your shots. Should be it. I think that's it. No. Oh no. Oh! Did they cluster strike themselves? See, if you had a smoke, you could smoke it. Oh my goodness. Come on. Play it up. If I'm them, yep. Rotate over a little bit. Hey, you actually could use that loadout. Right there, right in front of you. Another one. Oh, no. GG's. GG's, guys. Oh, is that... Oh, no. Oh, no. But, guys, hey, thank you all so much. That's kind of like how I feel about Resurgence. ranked and casual ranked. It's just my thoughts. I think this is a big W for the COD community. I think this is something that we're going to see going forward. If you would, make sure you like the video, subscribe, ring that bell, and make sure you hit that sub button. I go live 5 times a week. Come hang out with me. I'll see y'all.